How can parties be reformed? This is the topic we are going to discuss today. It also means what are the suggestions very often made to bring reforms in political parties. My dear students, we know that democracy is a government of the people, for the people and by the people. In democracy, people exercise universal adult franchise, exercise their right to vote, and elect their rulers. We can say, in other words, that in democracy, people elect their rulers by using their right to vote. When people elect their rulers, it means there is election, and in election, either representatives of the political parties contest or independent leaders contest. That much all of us know. The different political parties in the world, in all the democracies in the world, have been facing some challenges. These challenges are lack of internal democracy within the parties, dynastic succession, growing role of money and muscle power, and the political parties do not seem to offer meaningful choices to the voters. This is the condition in almost all the democratic countries in the world. In almost all the countries in the world where representative democracy is there, the political parties exist. They are omnipresent. And all political parties face these challenges. Now, some suggestions are often made by people to reform political parties. The very often suggested reforms are: number one, the internal affairs of the political parties should be regulated. At all the levels of a political party, that political party is required to regulate all its affairs, all its activities within the party in democratic manner. If all political parties regulate their internal activities, internal happenings, internal decisions, internal proceedings in a democratic manner, then naturally people will get a lesson, citizens will get a lesson, and citizens will contribute more actively in democracy, or you can say in the affairs of the political parties also. The president of a political party, the secretaries of a political party, the treasurer of a political party, and other office bearers of a political party must be elected in a free and fair democratic manner at all the levels of that political party. The second most important suggestion very often made to reform political parties is to reserve at least 1/3 seats for women. We have already understood that every political party has party office bearers at national level, at state level, at district level, at block level, at city, town or village level, at muhalla level. At all the levels, office bearers are there. This number of office bearers, 1/3 seats, must be reserved for women. That is going to promote, that is going to increase women participation, and that is further going to strengthen political parties. The third suggestion very often made to reform political parties is the state funding of elections. Different political parties raise funds by different means, by different ways. Sometimes political parties put allegation on one another for using unfair and illegal means and ways of raising funds. Sometimes different leaders within a political party also raise issues related to political funds, misuse of political funds. Here we can say that if the state manages fund for all the political parties for their official activities, then the misuse of raising funds and illegal and immoral methods of raising funds can be checked, can be stopped. The fourth suggestion often made to reform political parties is that the citizens, the people in a democracy, must put pressure on political parties to use fair methods of electoral competition. Citizens, voters, if they put pressure on different political parties to include and promote positive democratic values, then political parties can be reformed. It is the voter who can put pressure on political parties to reform themselves, to reform their activities, to reform their approach, to reform their attitude towards democracy. The fifth suggestion, very often made to reform political parties, is very active participation of political parties, political leaders of political parties and citizens also. All political leaders, whether they are independent leaders or political party leaders, all political leaders belonging to political parties and all citizens must remain active towards all the happenings within the country and outside the country. Domestic affairs and external affairs. Citizens must be aware, and if citizens are aware, they can make a very, very aware political atmosphere. Therefore, my dear students, I hope all of you have understood this topic, suggestions often made to reform political parties. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Please do take care of your health and studies.